The man I'm talking about is Jamar Chase of the Cincinnati Bengals, and he is eye candy anytime he's on the football field. And the Bengals could be that kind of team that can really make another run to the Super Bowl like they did last year. Jamar Chase joining me here on Keyshawn, J. Will, and Max. Jamar, I laid that out there about you being not just one of the best receivers, but one of the best players, and you're not even 23 years of age yet. What does that mean to you to be that good, that young?
It's just a work ethic that I had, growing up, made me this way. It just being around a group of people and a skilled quarterback, other receivers that's pushing me to be great is a good opportunity.
How did you handle missing 4 games this year, being out with that fractured hip?
I think I handled it well. I was encouraging my teammates on, I was always being that person trying to pick everybody up even when I was down. Didn't really show too much emotion while I was going through the injury. So, I was always heads up, chin high.
Jamar, it's me and you here because I know how I feel if I miss a day of work and I love what I do. How did you stand that? Because you're like a kid on Christmas the way you play football. How did you deal with that? Other people out there doing that and you weren't out there.
Yeah, I wasn't really too pissed off or too anxious to play again, just because I know what I was capable of, and I wanted to make sure that I first got my injury right first, because if anything happens to a hip, it's most likely really, really bad, or surgery at the end of a season, and I missed the opportunity, and I had a good blessing in that position. So, I just kept praying on the situation. But for the most part, the only game that really got me was the Cleveland game when I was out. That was a game I wanted to play, and I had to sit back and watch that game from home.
Well, once you got back out there against Cleveland, you busted them in the mouth for over 10 catches, over 100 yards, and a touchdown. Why would anybody think like they did that they could cover you one-on-one and think that was a good idea?
I don't know. A lot of my one-on-ones starting to have safety help. So corners are starting to think they're doing one-on-ones with safety help. So whenever the time Joe sees one-on-one with me, we're gonna take advantage of the matchup.
He's one of the best players in the NFL, Jamar Chase, Bengals wide receiver. Joining me, Freddie Coleman and Keyshawn, J. Will, and Max on ESPN Radio. Speaking of your quarterback, Joe Burrow, you guys have known each other for a minute. Did I read correctly that you went knocking on doors of houses so you guys could live in the same neighborhood? Did I read that correctly, Jamar?
Nah, that's wrong. That's wrong. Somebody made that up.
Good, because I saw them thinking, wait a minute, I can't pick Jamar Chase going, hi, I'm Jamar, can I buy your house? Hi, I'm Jamar, can I buy your house? Yeah, I wasn't banking on that, so I'm glad you're able to clear that up. But what is it like having that kind of relationship that you two guys have, especially when I found out that, Joe Burrow looks to you to buy clothes for him so he keep that drip game going?
Yeah, I only bought him some pants. I ain't really buy him nothing too much. But overall, he's a good person, man. I think we do one like our best job is our communication is key. Just knowing the leverage on how the DBs playing us, what they're doing to us this game, because every game, we get played a little differently, and that's when we got to talk to our quarterback to make sure we're all on the same page.
What is it like being a team now that when you first got there, people said, the Cincinnati Bengals? What is it like that you've become more of the hunted instead of the hunter right now this season?
I just think we just needed to build. We had built a better program here. Everyone's here has put in to win, and you can feel the atmosphere here, and I think that's the biggest. And I think that's the biggest change and decision that that has been done here.
You mentioned atmosphere, and one of your teammates, Tyler Boyd, said, and I quote, "I love playing with my man T and my man Jamar because it's not about who's going to get the most touches. It's not about who's getting the most targets. It's not about being any kind of diva. It's about guys competing and everybody being about winning," end quote. When you hear one of your teammates say that, Jamar, what goes through your mind?
That's the exact truth. That's all honesty too. Even though we all want the ball, and we might all get doubled, and we might get doubled. So somebody always has to be open. And the receivers preach about running a route, even if we're double teamed, even if we get one-on-one, because we don't always see it. So we always got to be prepared for the next play.
What is it like when you go out there, and maybe this is just me spitballing, but I've watched you enough since being at LSU and being now where you're unstoppable. I'll put that out there. There's certain guys that look at a certain position and say, yep, good luck to you. You're that guy. Your fellow LSU dude, Justin Jefferson in Minnesota, are unstoppable guys. What is it that feeling like when you go out there and you say, it don't matter what you do, you're going to get a dose of me today?
Yeah, me coming into the games, the biggest thing that I'm doing is watching the defense just to see what looks I'm getting. Because, every team is going to play differently, and I've been hearing a lot about this, a lot about Belichick playing, great receivers and how he likes to double people. So it'll be a good test for me to see where I'm at and, overcome everything, that's happening right now.
Jamar Chase of the Cincinnati Bengals joining me, Freddie Coleman and Keyshawn, J. Will and Max on ESPN Radio. You got the Patriots this week, and you got the Buffalo Bills next week. I'm not trying to put the playoffs in the regular season, but how much, Jamar, do you feel those kind of games will have a playoff kind of feel?
I mean, we had one of the hardest schedules this year, and you can look at it and see for yourself. So, I mean, every game's like a playoff for us. We trying to play every game like it's a playoff, and basically like our last game. We trying to leave it all on the field.
How much do you think about that young Jamar Chase, where his first job was working at a snowball stand, and you were doing shaved ice and everything like that? How much do you think about where you were there then to where you are now?
It's just, having fun being a kid. When I look back on it, just being outside, playing around, having fun, just growing and being older. And now it's just, becoming a man and actually having a job and knowing what I need to do to be good at the job.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.